Most men hug a woman and unknowingly weaken attraction in the exact moment they think they are building it, because a hug is never just physical contact. It is psychological communication, a silent conversation between two nervous systems where your confidence, awareness, and emotional control are instantly felt. A woman can often sense more about a man in 3 seconds of a hug than in 3 hours of conversation, because touch reveals your internal state, whether you are calm or seeking approval, grounded or slightly anxious. Modern men move too fast, distracted and disconnected, turning what could be a powerful moment into a rushed social gesture, but attraction often hides in subtle details. When you approach a hug with calm authority, slow movements, relaxed shoulders, steady presence, you communicate emotional stability, something deeply attractive on a biological level. The hug should feel deliberate, not hesitant, with full but natural contact that signals clarity rather than uncertainty, because certainty creates a sense of emotional safety. Then comes the invisible detail most men miss: the extra second. Holding the hug just slightly longer than expected allows the moment to register emotionally, the same way silence between musical notes creates feeling in a song. Finally, the release matters as much as the embrace. Pulling away slowly, maintaining brief eye contact, and allowing a quiet pause creates intrigue, because the human mind remembers unfinished emotional signals. In practical terms, the protocol is simple. Ground yourself before the hug by calming your breathing. Hug with relaxed intention instead of hesitation. Hold the moment for a brief extra second and release with quiet presence rather than rushing away. These small shifts transform a routine gesture into an experience that lingers, because attraction is rarely built through words or tricks, but through awareness of the subtle signals we communicate without speaking. The rare man understands that power lives in small moments, in the way he stands, the way he listens, and even the way he hugs, while most men rush through life missing these details. Presence is the difference. When you slow down and become aware of the invisible language between people, something changes. Your energy becomes steady, your actions deliberate, and your interactions memorable. And when a woman feels that kind of presence, she may not always be able to explain it logically, but she will remember how it felt, because true attraction begins not with what you say, but with the quiet confidence of a man who is completely there in the moment. And when a man is truly present in a moment like that, something subtle but powerful begins to happen inside the woman's mind and body. Her nervous system relaxes because calm energy is contagious. The human brain constantly scans for signals of safety, confidence, and emotional stability, and touch amplifies those signals more than words ever could. When your body language is relaxed and your hug feels natural rather than needy, she subconsciously categorizes you differently from most men she meets. Instead of feeling the rushed energy of someone trying to impress her, she feels the grounded energy of someone who is comfortable with himself, and that difference alone can shift the emotional tone of the interaction. The key detail is awareness. Most men treat physical contact as a quick social ritual, but attraction often grows in those tiny pauses where attention is fully focused on the moment. When the hug is deliberate and calm, the moment becomes memorable rather than forgettable, because the brain stores emotional experiences that feel slightly different from the norm. That is why slowing down matters so much. When you move slower than the environment around you, you naturally create a sense of composure that stands out. After the hug ends, the interaction should continue naturally without overthinking it, because confidence is communicated through ease, not through analyzing every second of the moment. If the hug felt genuine and relaxed, it leaves behind a subtle emotional impression, something difficult to explain but easy to feel. And that impression is what often shapes how someone remembers you later. In reality, attraction is rarely created through dramatic gestures. It grows through consistent signals of presence, calmness, and self-assurance. When a man understands this, he stops chasing reactions and starts focusing on the quality of his energy in each interaction. The hug then becomes just one small expression of a deeper trait: a man who is comfortable with himself, attentive to the moment, and emotionally grounded. Women are highly sensitive to those qualities because they signal maturity and stability, traits that naturally draw people closer. Over time, these small moments accumulate, shaping how she perceives you, not as someone trying to win her attention, but as someone whose presence feels quietly compelling. And that is the deeper lesson behind all of this. Attraction is not about performing a technique perfectly. It is about learning to slow down, become aware of your body language, and allow genuine confidence to show through simple actions. When you develop that awareness, every interaction changes, not just hugs, but conversations, eye contact, and the way you carry yourself in a room. The moment stops being something you rush through and becomes something you experience fully. And when a man moves through life with that kind of presence, people notice it without knowing exactly why. Because the rarest quality in today's world is not charm or clever words, it is the quiet strength of someone who is completely there. And when you begin to live with that level of awareness, you start noticing something most men completely overlook. The world responds differently to calm energy. Conversations slow down around you. People listen more carefully. Women, especially, begin to feel a quiet sense of comfort in your presence. This happens because human beings are deeply responsive to emotional signals beneath the surface of words. A relaxed posture, steady breathing, and natural eye contact communicate confidence far more effectively than anything rehearsed or forced. When a hug comes from that place of internal balance, it doesn't feel like a move or a technique. It simply feels genuine. That authenticity is what allows attraction to grow naturally rather than being pushed or manufactured. Many men make the mistake of trying to control reactions, but attraction rarely works that way. It grows when someone feels emotionally safe yet intrigued at the same time, when a moment carries a subtle sense of calm mixed with curiosity. A thoughtful pause after the hug, a relaxed smile, and the ability to continue the interaction without awkwardness all signal emotional maturity. Over time, these small behaviors form a pattern that people associate with your personality. You become the man who is easy to be around, someone whose presence feels steady rather than chaotic. And in a world where most interactions are rushed and distracted, that steadiness becomes extremely noticeable. The deeper truth is that connection is built through consistency of energy, not isolated moments. A hug might only last a few seconds, but the feeling it creates can linger far longer because it reflects the way you carry yourself overall. When you cultivate calm awareness in daily life, when walking, speaking, listening, and interacting, you naturally create more meaningful moments with others. Women sense that level of composure because it signals emotional intelligence and maturity, qualities that stand out far more than superficial charm. Eventually, you stop worrying about whether a gesture worked or whether someone reacted in a certain way because your focus shifts from seeking approval to expressing your authentic presence. That shift alone changes how people perceive you. Instead of trying to impress, you simply show up fully in each moment. And ironically, that is what makes interactions more memorable and attractive. In the end, the real transformation is not about learning how to hug differently. It is about learning how to move through life with calm confidence and awareness. When you master that internal state, even the simplest gestures, like a brief embrace, carry meaning and warmth that people remember long after the moment is past.